Okay, in this video I'm going to talk about the initial moves of hands 2 through 5, in particular the initial back stances. Each of those kata begins with a back stance to the left, and then either directly or after 2 or 3 other moves shifts to a back stance to the right. So I'm going to talk about those initial back stances and how to get to them. So for the purposes of explaining clearly, I'm going to talk about the first move in general for all of them, and then I'm going to separate the 2 katas into hands 2 and 4 versus hands 3 and 5 because they have differences. So first we'll talk about in general that first move. So as always, when you're doing kata, the first thing you do is look in the direction that you're about to go. You're about to go to the left, as in all the Heian katas, you begin to the left. So you look. Now to get into these back stances, you want to drop your weight. Start at a full height in a ready stance, drop your weight to the height of a back stance. At the same time you look, and then you're going to turn the hips and slide the foot out, like this. For Heian Yondan, of course, it's slow, so you're going to drop and then slide it out slowly. The point being, the first thing you want to do after looking is drop your weight straight down. So, as if you were to point your belt ends down from the ready stance, they'd be pointing right between your feet at the halfway point if there's a plumb line. But now as you drop and slide it out, now your belt loop should be pointing almost in the same point on the floor, but now it happens to be closer to the back foot, roughly 2/3 of the distance from the front foot to the back foot. That's how you know your weight distribution is good. The other thing is to avoid leaning into it. So you want to avoid, first of all, having more weight on your front leg, which is very common when you go forward into a back stance. The tendency is to have too much weight on the front leg and or to lean your body into it. If you have equal weight on the legs, even when you're in the back stance, your belt ends will be pointing to a place on the floor right between them. So you actually want the belt loops to be closer to the back foot. So whether it's Heian Nidan, or Heian Sandan, how we do it, etc., you want to just drop straight down and shoot it out. So now we'll go to the differences between the two. Heian Nidan and Yondan go right from the back stance to the left to the back stance to the right. So what you want to do in that case, again, leading with your hips as always, say it's Heian Yondan starting like this, you want to just pivot on your heels. Pivot on your heels with the hip, and of course turn your whole body. And you're now in the back stance, up facing the other direction, and your weight, your center of gravity has shifted slightly. It's gone from here, it's moved over a little bit. Okay. That's how you get to that back stance. Now the other two have some moves in between. So we'll start with Heian Sandan. The way we do Heian Sandan was drop, look, slide out. That's how we do the first technique. Now you're in a low back stance. You went from a full height of a ready stance to a back stance. Now you're going to come up halfway between into Heisokodachi, which is feet together stance. So you come up. Now from here, you're going to drop into the back stance to the right. You're going to spin on your feet. This is how we do it. And then once you've turned, you're going to again slide and drop down. So again, you're at a middle height, turn and drop. And then continue with this. For Heian Godan, you look, drop, come out, punch. Now you're going to come up again to a middle height. Not quite the full height of a ready stance, but a middle height. Then you're going to look, drop lower, and slide the foot out. And again, my belt is pointing here, towards my back foot. So that's the difference between the two of those groups. So the important points to remember is when you're hitting that first back stance, whether you're doing it slowly as in Heian Yondan or quickly in the other hands, is to, from a full height of a ready stance, drop straight down as you look, slide the foot out, and have your weight more on the back leg, of course, and have your torso straight up and down. That's true of all of them. Then for the switching, for hands Yondan and Nidan, just going to pivot on the hips, shift the weight slightly back this way. Again, you'll be straight up and down, weight on the back leg. And for the other 2, 3, and 5, you're either going to come from here, or you're going to come from here. So again, you're going to drop, slide it out. So that's the important points of the initial back stances of hands 2 through 5. Thanks for watching.